right, so this is a real question. If Biden grew up in a black church and he loves black people and black people supposed to love him, apparently he's our king or president or whatever the hell, then why does Trump always look more comfortable around black folks?
Big money in this bitch, multiplier, eateries in a limo, Uber driver, record a life like a demo. I know they watching, in the end I'm a lifer, suicidal.
BBN Jack Frost. What's up, party people? Alright, so yeah. So apparently, Donald Trump, he goes down to Atlanta. He's, I'm guessing, visiting HBCUs, and he goes into a Chick-fil-A, and the black peoples love him. Okay. Now, I really wanted to talk about this. Not the Chick-fil-A black lady hugging him aspect of this conversation, which is big, and we're going to discuss that. But this whole thing where the only reason why people keep saying black people support Trump is because he's giving us a check. I'm going to tell you what the shame of this is. The shame of this is the majority of the people that are saying this are other black people. I'm going to say this again. It's a shame that you try to bully and force black people to vote for a president rather than that president actually being competent and earning the vote. So just yesterday, I'm down in Times Square. And shout out to Team Moto Productions. I was down there doing a thing with him. And so with him for whatever the case might be, we was down there working. So I was down in Times Square yesterday. So I come up on, for everybody that don't know, they have the ticket booth that sells all of the tickets to the plays. It's over there. It's under the red steps. Like if you go to the other side of the red steps, that's where the ticket booth is. So I walked over there and I end up getting into a conversation with this older black woman. And shout out to her. This is no disrespect to her at all, even though we have opposing viewpoints. So I'm talking to her and she brings up Nan. Now, this is what I found interesting, and I'm going to say a couple of things here. And if you're not old enough to know that these things was going on, now you will. So Nan is an organization that is supposed to, it's a national organization, and it's supposed to basically help out colored folk just in general and people who have been oppressed and things and such, right? I forget what the letters stand for. Somebody put it down in the comment section. So I'm out there and I'm speaking with her, and she's basically saying that she's only in town because there was a convention. Like, that's the way she proposed the conversation when we were speaking. And the convention was a little bit further uptown from where we were, whatever the case was. And while they're in town, they're going to, go do the thing. So she's pro-Biden. I just need for you to understand this. So while we're having this conversation, she's talking to me and she's conveying to me, basically, we get into politics, and I guess she just don't think I know what the hell I'm talking about, or I'm easily manipulated, or whatever the case is. And then the way she makes it sound is, I did not go in this direction. She did this all on her own. So she made it sound like we all have to go down and make sure that we vote to keep Trump out of office. So I told her, everything that I was saying was basically what I tell you guys. I think that I don't have any right to tell anybody which way to vote. I think that people should vote based on what their household entails. So the individual that helps out your household, that's who you should vote for. Don't vote for an agenda. That doesn't make sense. So she's like basically agreeing with me or whatever the case is, but she's also alluding to the fact, we got to keep Trump out of office because, she doesn't give any reason. I just want to be clear about this. She doesn't have any reasons for anything. Anything. She has no reason. She's trying to use talking points against me. I'm shooting down the talking points with rational logic and reason. People are turning around listening to our conversation, shaking their heads in agreement with me. Shout out to that. In any regard, she basically goes on and starts talking about all of these talking points about how we have to keep Trump out of office. But she does also agree that we should vote for the person who helps our household. Now, why is this conversation, particularly that I had with her the other day, important to what we're doing here? So Trump goes down to the HBCUs. Y'all know he gave the HBCUs billions of dollars that as soon as Biden got into office, he took back most of the money. He gave them like $26 billion. It could have been somewhere between, it could have been in the 50 billions. I forget. But he gave them billions of dollars. He says it does not make sense for HBCUs to have to come up to the White House every damn year and ask for money and beg the president for the money that they need to run their colleges. It does not make sense. So he just gave them billions of dollars over a select amount of years and said, y'all don't have to come up here if y'all don't want to. If you want to come up here, fine. But when you come up here, it's not going to be to ask for money because I gave you the money. As soon as Biden gets into office, what does Biden do? And check this for yourself. One of the first things that Biden does when he gets into office is take back almost all of the money. He took back everything except for like 7%, 4%, something like that. He left them with like 7%, something like that. But he took all of the billions of dollars back. Now, these colleges have to go to the freaking president every year and get back to begging. Why is this important to this conversation? Because when Trump goes and visits the HBCUs, just so we can be clear, I got a couple of quotes that I'm going to read from the lady that was hugging on Trump. I got a couple. Her name is Michaelah Montgomery. I think it's Michaelah. I'm not 100% sure. I hope I'm pronouncing her name anywhere near correct. I'm going to be calling her either M squared or I'm going to be calling her Miss Montgomery. That's what we're going to do. So, you do understand that when Trump goes to any HBCU, he deserves the applause. He deserves the love. This isn't, we're going to love Trump because he's going to give us a check. This is, Trump put us in a position that we didn't have to beg. Why would you not love on a person who's going to put you in a position that every time you need money, you don't have to go ask a fool? Anyway, let's get to some of her quotes. One of the quotes she says is, I don't care what the media tell you, Mr. Trump, we support you. I think that people really think, especially y'all Trump supporters out here. I mean, pardon me, y'all Biden supporters out here. Y'all know y'all in the minority, right? I'm going to say that again for everybody that don't get this. You know the Biden supporters are in the minority, right? Y'all not the majority. You are the minority. So Biden goes and keeps talking about how he's cutting money or he's forgiving loans. You do understand that that money still has to be paid back somehow, right? You can't just forgive a damn student loan. All they're doing is they're going to take the monies from somewhere else to replace it from where that loan is. So now, instead of, just so we could be clear, the student having to pay the loan back, the loan is not forgiven. Only Congress can forgive debt. Or the person who actually gave the loan. Other than that, the president cannot forgive debt. It is not legal. So every time he says, I'm forgiving debt, It's not legal. And the debt is not forgiven. Someone else is just paying for it. This is trick. These are tricks. Montgomery goes on to say, the general consensus on social media will have you think that if Trump was to show up to the HBCU campuses, some are going to be angry. Mob would form and would ensure that he would not be welcome. And clearly, that sentiment the other day basically proves this to be the complete opposite. You think college students don't know who looked out for them? What you also have to understand is when Trump gave those billions to those HBCUs, that made it so now, guess what? They might have been able to pay their coaches. You might have been able to keep prime time at the HBCU. You might be able to give out more scholarships. No, those are things you don't have to pay back. You might have been able to do so much to improve the campus. You might have just been able to improve security. Do you understand all of the things that Trump allowed when he gave those billions that Biden took back? Now they don't have the capital to work with. She goes on to say, he was very welcome. People were excited to see him. People showed up to support him. And people, of course, were from all four institutions within the AUC, the local HBCU community in Atlanta. And they all showed up to support him. I just want to say this. I said this in the opening. But Trump looks way more comfortable than Biden. He probably doesn't look the most comfortable because that would probably be creepy. But he looks way more comfortable around black folk than Biden. And I just want to add something else. And this is a main part that I wanted to say. You do know that Al Sharpton and Trump used to be hang die, right? They used to be close. Go back to the 80s. So for the NAN to be going against Trump, even though they have shared beliefs and they have worked in support of each other previously, when Trump was still a Democrat, that shows you that this is something else to do with something else. This has nothing to do with what Trump is trying to do, and this is more to do with what Trump is trying to prevent from happening. So now, since Trump decided to be a Republican, y'all guys don't like him. But when Trump was a Democrat, y'all loved him. In any regard, we need to change the narrative. It gets me so pissed off when people treat black folk like the only reason why they're supporting whatever the hell Trump is doing is because they're going to get $1. And the worst part of it is, it's black folk that's saying this. We need changes in the infrastructure of how this country is ran. Trump was doing that. What slowed him up was that whole pandemic. Trump was draining the swamp. Now, with that being said, let me know what y'all guys think about this video. And if you're pro-Biden, let us hear it in the comment section. I want to know why you're pro-Biden. Don't tell me about why you're anti-Trump. Let's say we could do that. And if you're pro-Trump, put it in the comment section. I want to know why you're pro-Trump. I don't care why you're anti-Biden. Like, comment, subscribe. Join the notification gang. Hashtag Bronx Bombers. Let's get it. I love y'all. Take care of each other. Hug the kids for me. I haven't forgotten about you. And that's all I get on this one. I'm out.